Okay, the first sound of Rosh Hashanah is the Tekiah, which is one long straight blast. Rosh Hashanah is a day of appreciating who God is. When we internalize who God is and begin to understand it, it becomes a living, practical part of our everyday reality. God is all powerful. God is creator. God is sustainer. In short, God is king of the universe. In God's kingdom, the king is first and foremost a servant of the people. His only concern is that his people live in harmony and live in happiness. His laws and his decrees are for the good and for the welfare of his people, not for himself. The object of Rosh Hashanah is to crown God as king of our lives. Tekiah, the long, straight shofar blast, is the sound of the king's coronation. In the Garden of Eden, Adam's first act was to proclaim God as king. And now the shofar proclaims to ourselves and to the world, God is my king. We set our values straight and we return to the reality of that God is the one who rules the world. He guides history, he moves mountains, he cares for each and every human being individually and personally. But it isn't enough that God is my king alone. If all humanity doesn't recognize God as king, then there's something lacking in my own relationship with God. Because I begin to be affected by the negativity, by the lack of respect that the world has for God. Part of my love for the Almighty is to help guide all other people to the appreciation of who He is. This is done largely by my expression of caring and love for other people. But that also affects my own sense of God's encompassing kingship. Tekiah also indicates stability in life, discipline, and consistency. Stability, peace, discipline, consistency are all values which help us to raise children to grow up and be confident and fully aware of their self-worth in God, not in themselves and not in what someone else says about them. However, the Tekiah can also be a symbol of complacency with the status quo because it's straight sound. We have lived a stable life. We go about our mundane routine day in and day out, all year long. This routine gets to the point where it makes us indifferent to the circumstances around us. It makes us indifferent to the defects in our own walk. It makes us feel safe and sound to that which is familiar. We get comfortable. That complacency, however, will soon be stirred to action through courage, which the Tekiah commands. Tekiah is a sound which is to awaken us from a spiritual slumber and prepare us for what is to come next.